Here we are. Hello, everybody. Hi. Okay, we have sound, we have action. Yay. Okay. Um, oops, you caught me. I was just putting together my little box there with the names in it. Um, and getting things together. Oh, it's so windy outside. It's so chilly. Ooh. Sure big change from last week. Ay, ay, ay. And yesterday was the first day of spring. Happy spring to everybody. Let's see. So, what do we have going on? Oh, I am so excited. New catalog is coming out in May, and it's actually on its way now. It'll be sent out sometime in April. You should probably get it probably second, third week in April, I would say. Hi, Connie. We as demonstrators can order them as of the first, I think, of April. And I'll be ordering a bunch of them right then. So I should be able to get some out to the people that I see at the library. You should all have a copy of that the first, like the second week, I would say. Well, the first class you have in April, I would think. But anyway, um, if you're a demonstrator, you get to have a sneak peek. And so I got a peek at the new catalog, and oh my gosh, I am so pleasantly surprised. It's so neat. Hi, Carol. Yes, it is so windy. I can't believe it. So the new catalog, we got a digital copy. I don't have an actual paper copy in my hands. It's just a digital copy. It's completely different from all the other catalogs. Has it actually has some how to's, how to make different cards. It has some templates for cards. It has a lot of ideas. It's organized completely different. It's organized by um, easy stuff and returning stuff. And so there's just so many things about it that are different that I like. And what the best thing is the index. I always would get so upset when I was looking for something in the catalog because the index was useless. It was just stamps and anything else, forget it. This actually has all where everything else is, the embellishments, the tools, all the different things. So it looks like it's going to be great. I'm really happy with it. And the new in colors were introduced in it, and I can't really say too much about them uh, because you'll be seeing them very soon. But I love them. I really love them. I know I'm going to be using them a lot. So be prepared. and let's see what's coming up. Okay, 27th of March, Robisonia Library, 1:30. I'll be there. We have a stamp and chat this Friday, the 22nd. Um, all the usual people that come to it will be getting invitations. And if anybody else is interested, it is done on Zoom and it's on Friday morning from 10 to 12. And we just chit chat. We work on whatever we're working on, and everybody shows everybody else what they're doing. And it's just a fun morning. We just get things done. So I'm looking forward to that. And then April starts. Well, we got Easter first. The 31st, of course, is Easter. And then April, oh, I can't see April on my calendar. Let's see, I think it's the 3rd. It's Wednesday, is Warnersville Library from 5 to 7 p.m. So that's what's coming up. And I hope to be seeing some of you guys out there. And tonight, what are we going to do tonight? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do tonight. And I got this all together and all worked out and all figured out. And then I realized that I had actually done this, something similar to this before. So I'm sorry about the repeat, but I liked it a lot before and I still like it this time. So I don't think you're going to mind. Here's what I'm doing. I'm working with, and there's a reason here that I'm doing this. This Meandering Meadows paper. I'm going to make some cards with this. I have a couple packs of it, and it'll be ending, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it won't be. But the newest paper pumpkin is very similar as well. And so I was looking at the paper pumpkin and thinking, wow, I really have some of that paper. I have quite a bit of that paper left. I should really do something with it. So I am. One of the cards, like I said, is one that I've done before. But the other ones are all new. So, and it's a fun fold. And this is it. It's cute. So we're going to do that. And let me get it out. So it's the Meadows uh, set. It's paper and it is Garden Meadow is the bundle that goes with it. And there's stamps and dies. So that's very cute. So I was going to give some people a chance to join in here, but we might be the only ones, Connie and Carol. That's okay, right? We can keep going. Um, yes, Carol, it is windy outside. I took Joey out. I thought he was going to blow away the poor little thing. He's so tiny. And he there he is. He's like standing there like the wind's going through his ears, and he's giving me really dirty looks. And maybe that's why nobody's joining us. I forgot to send out a reminder from Joey. Joey, I don't think Joey's up here either. No, I think he's downstairs, keeping warm. Yeah, he does not like the wind at all. Poor thing. Okay. Well, let me pull a name quick. Pull a name, pull a name, pull a name. Let's see. Susie. Susie wins tonight's card. I'm going to make myself a note right away so that I don't forget. And I have got so many cards for Susie. I'm going to have to box them all up to send them to her. Because I said to her, I don't know how I did it, but I think I have 3 or 4 cards that she won, and I put them all together in a pile and just never got them to her. And I've seen her a couple of times, and I just didn't have them for her. And she said to me the other day, she said, "Don't you have some cards for me?" And then I looked and I said, I do. So, and now another one. Now here's another one that she will be getting. And I got a Christmas card back that I had sent out, and the person who was supposed to get it moved, and I didn't know that. So it just came. I mean, it's March, and I just got this card back. It was postmarked December 19th. Things are a little behind, I would say. Okay, so I'm going to get myself out of the picture here and we will get on this one. So this is the card that we're doing, and this is how it opens. Connie, this is similar to, it's not exactly, it's not the M fold, okay? It's actually, it's a gatefold. But I think it's really cute, and it's very pretty for this paper. The only thing is I wish that I had used a colored background instead of a white background, because these columns, the white, I wish it would have been yellow or green. But you need a place to write. If you don't do it there, you can write on the back. But I thought I'd leave it blank for a place to write. So anyway, let's do it. It's rather It's not very hard. You just need the measurements. And I have the measurements written down. I made a template like I've been doing with all my cards lately. So you do need that template. And so we're going to start out 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 is our piece. Okay. So 5 1/4, and I'm using lemon lolly instead of white for this one, just because I just think I like it better. So let me see. You know what else? I did not get a piece of that green, and I sure hope there's one here. In fact, I know there is. I thought I pulled it out, but I didn't seem to. I don't seem to have it. Oh, for Pete's sake. I'm here. It is not finding that piece of green. And I thought I had everything out and ready. Let me see if I have it up here. I do. No, it's not that one. Nope, I don't. Okay, folks, I'm sorry. So I'm going to open up a new pack. I thought I was all prepared this time. I thought I had everything ready to go. Oh, yes. Okay, that's what I want. And I know I have a piece of this somewhere. I picked it. Yeah, I do. Oh, geez. Oh, well. Okay, now we have another pack open. That's all. Okay, now let's get to it. Okay, so I have cut a piece of paper 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Now that's different from normal size, so write that one down. Okay, it's 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And then I'm going to score it. And here's another one to write down at 1 3/8. So 1, 2, 3/8. Okay, 1 3/8. 2 1/2. A lot of scoring here in the beginning. 4 3/4. And 5 7/8. And when you have a 7/8 number, let me just show you this on this cutter. When you have a 7/8 number, I find it easier to go backwards. Okay, so like 1, 7/8, 8/8 is 1. So 7/8 is 1 back from 1. Okay, so that's 1, that's 7/8. 1 and 7/8 is right before 2. Now these little lines here are 16ths. The slightly longer ones are 8ths. So if I'm going like 1 3/8, I will go 1, 2, 3/8. But if I'm going 7/8, I know that 2 is 8/8, so I go down 1. I hope I didn't just confuse you. But that's how I figure my 8s. Okay, so again, this is 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and it's scored at 1 3/8, 2 1/2, 4 3/4, and 5 7/8. Then you get your bone folder ready, and you fold the inside one in half or over. and fold this one back. And you want to burnish these really, really good. Same thing here. Fold this over. And fold this back. So they meet in the middle. And make sure you get that extra oomph with your bone folder because you want that to stay kind of closed. Okay, then we're going to take this Designer Series paper, not that piece yet, this piece. Okay, and we're going to cut it at 1 1/4 by 5. We're going to cut the whole thing. All the pieces that we cut are going to be 5 inches. So I'm going to cut it down because this is 6-inch paper. So I'm going to cut it down. I'm going to cut some of this guy off, but not too much of it. And then take the rest at 5. Okay. So that's the length. Now I want 1 1/4. And I want a piece 2 1/8, 2 1/8 for in the center. And I want another piece at 1 1/4. So, okay, keep those pieces as close as you can to each other so that they don't get all roughed around. Now, two more cuts that I need to make. So before I put this away, before I put the cutter away, I'm going to make these cuts. I want my card base, the actual back colored base, to be 5 1/2. Excuse me. Excuse me. To be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. And this piece, excuse me, it's 5 1/2. There we go. So this is my card base. It's going to be the back. And then this piece of Designer Series paper is going to be my first layer. This is 5 1/4 by 4. So that's 5 1/4 by 4. Now I think I'm done with the cutter for now. Okay, so we're going to take our base and my little egg glue holder here. Isn't that cute? I love that thing. Thank you, Connie. Connie said, bless you, because I don't know, I just got a sneezing attack. I don't know what happened with that. Okay, that's my base. Put that aside for a second, and I'm going to take my folded up piece here. I'm going to take my designer paper, and the left piece goes on the left side, the right piece goes on the right side, and the center piece goes in the center. Now, I did cut a little bit of a Very, very little bit of a frame around these. I didn't on the sample, but I decided to on this one. Just, I don't know, I just sort of thought it needed it. And since I used the yellow paper, I thought it looked better. Now those kind of look like they continue on, but right here, the centerpiece is really a continuation of those pieces. So when you have it open, that's how it's going to look. And I think that that's just really neat. I really like that. Okay, anyway, now for my uh, for my greeting, I need some thank you cards. So, what I'm going to do, I'm using an old stamp. Everybody has their favorites of different things. This is one of my favorites for greetings. It's called Flowing Flowers, and it's an old one. It's from a couple of years back, and I just like it. So, you know, when you have one that you really like, just because it goes away, it doesn't have to go away. So, I just like the font on this. So, I'm going to thank you card. So I'm going to use the thank you. And I'm using it's an oval punch. And I don't, it has a name. I know it has a name, but I don't know what the name is. And it's still in the catalog. Oh, speaking of in the catalog, yeah, we also got the last chance list. There are some favorites going away. I always hate, that's the thing about this time of year that I hate. I love seeing the new colors and the new stamp sets and everything. But you know, they have to clear out some of the old ones to make room for some of the new. I'm using that same designer series paper. And the reason I'm doing this, let me explain this to you. I'm thinking I there's an arch die with this set, and it really looks cool, but it's too big for this small area. So I want to kind of make this look like an arch. So I'm gonna stamp my thank you. I hope if it fits, yes, it will fit. I'm going to stamp that on there, and then I'm going to glue it to that so that it just kind of has the appearance of an arch. And I'm using Granny Apple Green for this because I think it matches this color here. And I did it again. Folks, somehow I do this every time. I had that piece cut out. Oh, I do. Here it is. So I'm only putting glue on the top half of this. And I'm sticking it on here to give just to keep that arch pattern, call it. Let me grab that stamp set. What I was going to do when I first started playing around with this, my first idea was to take this fence, the gate, and put it across here. But you know, it exactly stretched from end to end. And I would need something higher up. And like I said, the arch is just too big. I can show you what I'm talking about. These are the dies that are with that set. And that arch would just take up half the kit. See that? It's just too big. There's no way. So I couldn't use that. Then I thought about using the fence, but the fence would go from end to end. And so that didn't work either. So I was just kind of stymied a little bit. And then I decided to just go with this. So I think that has a little bit of an arch design to it, but not quite. So then I wanted to I used this basket stamp and I stamped that and I die cut it out because that's the die is in here for that. And I colored it with blends. I used some daffodil. In fact, yeah, the daffodil light and dark. And I used granny apple green, and that's what it looks like. And I just think it's an adorable little piece. So now all I'm going to do is put this all together. The basket is going to go on dimensionals here at the bottom. So again, you got to keep the dimensionals up toward the top. Incidentally, this is not the card that I showed you before, but I have one coming up that it is. So, and then it gets glued. Well, first we'll glue this to this. I'm not using my fancy glue gun. I'm going to dig it out here and use it. I found that the other bottle of glue had well, actually, I mean, there's just nozzles. There's different nozzles that come with it. You can use whichever one you want. And the other one has a bigger opening, which is better because this one, I mean, this one's good for fine detail work. You know, if you're doing something small, but the other one is good for if you're doing for like this, if you have a big area to cover rather than using that tiny little. And I'm going to make sure it's centered, which it seems to be. Good. Then I'm going to take this and I'm only going to put glue on one side. And put that just like that. And there's our finished card. I do like this fold. I really, and I like it for this paper too. This works out so well. And I like it better. Okay, so here's the sample, the original sample that I did. And I did it on a white background here. I like it much better on the yellow, don't you? Okay, so that's number one. Number two. This is the one that I did before. I have a couple more going though too. So don't run away just because I did this one already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, no, I didn't want, yes, I did want the yellow. Cutting a regular card base, 5.5. By 4.25. I love this paper. Connie, are you making it along with me? There's so many different nice color combinations, and it's the first day of spring, so It's, it's a good time to be doing spring type cards, right? I'm going to burnish this good, and then I'm going to cut an inch off the bottom of this side. So we could do this by cutting it. I mean, we could do it by making, instead of going 8.5, we could go 7.5, and still score it at 4.25. Or you can just do the whole thing and then cut it in half. Good. I'm glad you're doing that, Connie. I always like it when I know somebody's working along with me. Okay, so we got this. Now we're going to take our paper. We're going to mess around with it till we have what we want on the front. Now we're going to need a piece that is 3 inches by 5.25. 3, right? Let me make sure. Yes, 3 by 5.25. So I want to see where I'm going to get the best 3 inches out of this. And I want to get some of those daisies. So I think I'm going to try cutting it right about there, and then I'm gonna end up cutting off part of the tree, but that's okay. I can live with that. Keep that piece that you cut off the bottom to the side because you're going to use it. So I'm going to cut this 3 inches. Now it's going to cut off the top of the tree, but like I said, I can live with that. And then you're going to need it to be 5.25. So cut it off to 5.25. So now this is 3 by 5.25. Then you're going to take the piece you cut off here, and you're going to cut that to a little over an inch. Make it. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Okay. I know. Oh, it's going to be an inch and a half. I'm going to take it to an inch and a half, and I'm going to cut it off there. And again, do the 5.25. And you have your white insert, which is 4 by 5.25. I got 2 of them here. And you're going to glue this down to that. And you're going to glue this on here. This is a very, very simple and quick card, and I love that. Because when you need a gift for somebody, something like this is just so amazing. It's different, and it's pretty, and it's people appreciate it. Make them a set of all occasion cards. Make them a birthday card or two, a thank you card, maybe a get well card. All out of the same sort of paper so that it looks like a set, and put it all together in one of our little boxes or make a box. People love that. They really do appreciate it. All the people that I've ever made them for have just been so enamored with them. Okay, this bottle of glue is going in the trash can. My patience only goes so far. I did find to fill the other bottle for my glue gun, I found that you can pop. Wait, I will show you rather than tell you because it's hard for me to explain it. Okay, so you glued your paper here, you put it on there, and look at that. So when you're filling a bottle, another bottle with this glue, use the broad tip. Okay, that's the big part. This pops right off. this rubber stopper here pops right off, and you have a big white area there to pour it from. I did not know that. Now I do. I did it the other day, and I was like, wow, I can't believe how cool this works. It just makes it a lot easier. It really does. Okay, so now we have that. And this is going to be another thank you card. I'm using my go-to greetings, and there. No, that's thinking of you. Whoops. Okay, thank you. This is here. And I'm going to do this in yellow, I think. And I'm going to use, oh, let's see. I guess I'll just use green. I think I'll use the garden green on this. And I'm going to just do it right on that yellow scrap that I cut off the bottom. And I will show you what I'm going to do with it. Stamp your greeting on it as close to the edge as you can get it. And take your paper trimmer and cut it off. I'm going to cut this side down a little bit shorter. And I'm going to take my border banners, pick a punch, and I'm going to cut off the edge. I think I'll do this like an arrow or here. I use that punch quite a bit. I took notice they're bringing back a couple of punches in the catalog, the new catalog. So I was kind of glad to see that because they started kind of slimming down on punches there for a while. And I really do like my punches. And they actually have a couple that they have, like, whichever you want, the dies with a punch, whichever works for you better. And I would choose, in that case, I would choose the punches. I do like the punches. What do you guys think? Would you prefer, like, if you had the exact same shape? So, say, like this oval here, you have the exact same shape in a die or a punch. Would you prefer the die or would you prefer the punch? Which would you use? I just prefer the punches. Okay, let's see. And so we're going to put this right here. Or you could put it down here at the bottom, but I like it up there. And then I take my linen thread and make a bow and put that on it. And you know what? These cards beg for butterflies. This paper just begs for butterflies. I swear, it just, you need a butterfly. You need a butterfly. That's what it's saying to me. Ah, good point, Connie. Connie says she loves the punches, but she's running out of room in her craft room. And the punches take up a lot more space than the dies, that's for sure. That's a good point. That can go right there. And I'm going to stick that on with a glue dot. Does anybody else use these glue dots that you get in the... I use these. I like these. These are the ones you get in the paper pumpkin kits. And I don't know why I have so many of them, but I do. Um, I don't use them for glue in the paper pumpkin kits. I mean, that's what they have them in there for, is so that you can use them for glue. So they put a lot of them there, and I don't use them for glue. I use glue for glue. But the glue dots, I really like having just these little sheets, and they're great for when I do classes, to take to the classes too. Okay, so there's that one. Wait, I must find my butterflies. I took notice that the birds are not coming back in the new catalog, which I don't quite under. Well, you know what though? They're an online exclusive, so I guess they'll still be available as an online exclusive. I know I have a pack open, but you know what? That would work just as well. A dragonfly or a bird. So yes, I think that's what we will do. We will put a dragonfly here. Hi, Karen. Carol, you do what? You have more room in your craft room? You prefer the punches too, or I'm gonna just stick him right up above the water. I'll put the bird up in the tree. There. Okay, that's that one. One more. Oh, you use the glue dots. Oh, okay. Karen, you weren't at a baseball game in this wind. You probably were, but oh my gosh, I am amazed that they could even hang on to a ball. That wind was so awful. Okay, I have two more coming up. These are very similar to one another, so I'm going to do them both at the same time. What I have done, I took this piece of paper, okay? Oh, you went out for dinner. Oh, just the two of you. Hey, Barb. Yeah, that's exciting. Baby's going to be there soon. Yay. Is there an occasion, Karen, or you just finally got to get out? Where'd you go? Tell me, come on. Where are you at, Barb? Are you on the road or at home? Okay, so what I did with this, I like the back of this paper, so I decided to use the back as the base. Okay, so the back, I cut the back at 5 1/4 by 4. I took a white regular card base and I'm gluing this onto it for the first layer. It's 4 by 5 1/4. Now, then I picked up the colors in this base, working from home up in Pittsburgh then. Just for fun, Karen, huh? Well, that's nice. Yeah, we're going to be going out tomorrow night um, with Linda and her husband, actually. Okay, so I'm doing two of these at the same time because they're very, very similar. And the whole gist of it is very similar. So I just thought I'd quick throw them both together. So I use this paper for the back and I use this paper for the front. Now, first of all, when I cut off the 4 by 5 1/4, when I cut off the 4 inches, it gave me this piece. So that was what started the whole thing. Is I thought, oh, that's such a pretty piece just right there, like by itself. So I cut a piece of shaded spruce and a piece of white. So this piece is the scrap that's left over at the end. So it's 2 inches. Yep, 2 inches. I made the white 2 1/8 and the green 2 1/4. And I'm going to glue them all together. Lengthwise, I did cut it down just because I wanted it to fit in the card, fit on the card. So I cut this down to 4 3/4, the main picture. So I'm just going to glue that to the white, leave a little bit of border all the way around. And it's only 1/8 of an inch, so it's a very small border. Okay, but it's just enough to peek out. Then I'm going to glue that piece to the green. I will do that, Karen. And Susie's not on tonight. She actually won the card tonight, so I'm going to have to get a hold of her. I hope she's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this right to the middle. Or actually, yeah, I am going to glue it because I will put the greeting on with dimensionals. This is another simple one I made for you guys. Karen, for you just joined us. I made a fun fold for the first card that was a cute fun fold. I'll show it to you then. And the other ones after that are really super simple ones. So, and they're all out of the Meandering Meadows paper because this paper is so nice and easy to work with and easy to come up with beautiful stuff. Okay, so again, I have this small picture. I just pulled a piece off of here that I thought was pretty, made it into a 3 by 3 square. And I cut these a little bit bigger than I made this. Okay, so this is 3 by 3. The white's 3 1/4 square. And then the green is 3 1/2 square. So I have a slightly bigger border around this one. Super simple layouts here. Yeah, that's going to go on with dimensionals. And that whole thing is going to go right on here. Then I'm going to just again, I need some thank you cards. So that's what these are both going to be. And I'm using the thank you from the Flowing Flowers because I like it, like the font. And I may need to go with something a little smaller though. Um, they have one somewhere that, I'm just trying to figure out how to organize my cards, my stamp sets, so that I can find greetings the way I want to find them. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, if you get what I'm saying, but it just seems like I can never find what I want when I want it. So I'm taking this scrap and I'm going to use this shaded spruce because I use that for the. I'm going to stamp it on white. Twice. And I'm going to I'm trying to figure out what actually the best one for me to use for this particular card would be the ovals, the double oval. But that thank you is not going to fit there. So I'm going to have to find another thank you to use. You see, this is what all happens with the process of creating a card. Um, my mind gets changed half a dozen times, and I could just use the go-to greetings, which is what I think I'll do, just so I don't hold everything up here forever. I have a small thank you right here, and I know that fits in there. And so I'm going to use it instead of. I guess I'll just, oops, I can't even flip that over because I had already scrapped on the other side. And we grab the shaded spruce again. And what I think I want to do with these is I will do a shaded spruce background. Because that's kind of a no-brainer, right? And I know I have scraps because I just put them in here. There's 2 scraps. That is perfect. That's just exactly what I wanted. And like I said, these are so fabulous to do a pack of them and say something different on each one. Happy birthday, thank you, get well. The So Sincere, yeah, So Sincere set has so thankful for you. Your kindness is so appreciated. Um, Hope you're feeling better. You're in my heart and prayers. It has a happy birthday, but that's not a good one for this kind of card, really. But you get the idea. You could make a whole set of cards to all go together and just be a set and use it for a hostess gift or something, and they will love it, guaranteed. Okay, so now you can put that there, you can put it here. I'm going to have it hanging off the edge a little bit. Now, when you do that you're hanging something off the edge, guys, don't forget you have to use the dimensionals, because I have the dimensionals on here. Use the dimensionals at the bottom half only, because I only want the bottom half to stick up. The top half is getting glued to that, so it already is up on dimensionals, right? So I'm just going to stick a little glue on the top of this. Just need a little, because I have the dimensionals there, and put it there. And this one, I don't have this on dimensionals, but it's going to have to be in order to, because that's a couple layers there. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just putting a little glue on the one end and a dimensional on the other end, and put it right there. And then I will do the same thing I did with the other two. I will take a piece of linen thread. I said something to my mom the other day about the snow. I said, it was the onion snow. Because I don't know if you guys had snow at your houses, but we had snow. It didn't lay, it didn't accumulate or anything. But at one point, I looked out the window and went into a panic because I was getting ready to go out, and it's snowing like crazy. I was like, oh no, don't even tell me that we're going to have to deal with this. And then I said, no, it's just the onion snow. So I said this to my mom, and she said, no, it's too early for the onion snow. So it's not over yet. We're still going to get more snow. I'm like, no, I thought it was spring. She said, yeah, that was a teaser. I don't know. I'm sure done with winter. I'm ready for spring. Did you see I lost my... See, I take these glue dots and I rub them into a little ball and then stick them on the back of the linen thread so it doesn't stick out and stick to everything. And when I do that, then sometimes I lose that little ball that I just made. Okay, so we made a bunch of cards tonight. Simple ones, simple, easy. I hope you like them. And grab them all out here to show you. We started out with this one. This was our fun fold. Starts out like this, comes out of the envelope just like this, nice and flat. And then you open it up, and there it is. And you can write whatever you want on the sides here or on the back, however you want. I really like that card. I think that's really cool. I just, when it stands up too, the design just continues all the way through. That's the whole idea there with that one. So there's that one, and then there's this one. Just an easy, simple one. Again, that paper, I just cut a little bit off the bottom and put it on here. And then we have these two. Now, these were the samples that I made of the same style. This is the same one as that. So, but these are the 4 that we made tonight. So, I hope you all enjoyed. and it was good talking to you. And I had a good time. Happy spring, everybody. See you next week. Thanks for joining me. Good night.